It takes a special breed to be a truck driving man, and a steady hand to pull that load behind.
Okay, I'm finish blading, trying to finish this off for curb. Watch for the yellow and red feathers. Gravel in here. See out now. So this little section through here between the two curves we were low on, so we got to bring in some more in. You have to crab going around here and try not to knock the feathers out, so I just have to keep rolling it around until I get it out to my feathers, my GPS feathers, and then whatever I have too much of, just roll it off the side, I guess. But we've got the straight sections pretty well done. I got to make a few more passes down this one, and then I got to do one lane on the other side. So it's Saturday, and Monday they're coming for a compaction test. So we need to get this done and watered and rolled good, and then Monday hopefully we don't have to do any touch-up work. I think we'll get done today. We better. Anyway, you got to get this stuff watered and rolled. We call it tight blading. I don't know what you call it in your neck of the woods, but unless you get it tight, the grader is not gonna be able to cut it right. The harder it is, the better it is to cut. So this is my other corner I gotta mess with, get it up to grade. I think they brought me in plenty here. So I had a phone call this morning from a gentleman, Casey, in Coeur d'Alene, who gave me an excellent tip. That's why I love my subscribers. He told me to go down there on the curb machine and measure the shoe. Oh, looky there, we ran over one. I'm gonna have to get Matt to reset that one. Anyway, he said because if the shoes wore out and they don't have plenty of excess material for the auger to chew out down to grade, then you're gonna have concrete all over, and they're gonna be blaming you for not having enough material in. Finished blading is kind of a, like I've always said, you just got to be patient. Sometimes you just got to get out of the grader and take a break. You've really got to watch what you're doing, watch the slope meter. I don't know if you can hear me over this wind. And tomorrow is supposed to be 70. I've been sick all week. My lungs are full of goop. have COVID-22 or something. Okay, this is your grade setting tool right here when you knock the hubs out. Now, I'm not going to get it back where it needs to be, but at least it's going to be in its location where it was, and then I'll have Matt come back and reset it. That one you can see is a little low, and so you kind of see that the grader runs out of material here. It's because I got a hole right here. The grader will tell you where it's low. Can't park here, sir.
Do you need water or no material?
Yeah, you're gonna need to water this dry stuff that they put in. Matt went to go get some lunch, so he'll be back in a minute. So anyway, you just have to keep working it and working it, and I don't have a lot of width in here. So you can see I got a yellow one sticking up here, that's my center. So I'm getting pretty close, but I have buried this one. I don't even know where he is. Sorry, buddy. See if I can find him. Oh, bingo, there he is. But when Jake gets some water on there and then Matt gets back and gets this tightened up, I can blade on it some more, but there's no sense in continually going over this dry stuff, because until it's tight, you're just gonna fight it and fight it. You'll never get it to grade. So I've pushed my gravel out here, about grade there. This one I left it high because there wasn't any material here, and by the time they water and roll this out here, it's going to shrink a bunch. So I just left it high. So now I've got to see if I can take this and make this fit. I'm low there, but I'm to grade there. So I think I got plenty of material to get the crown in. That one could use just a little more. This one's low. If I remember right, I'm not sure if this one has a super or not. Matt said this one down here is just a 2% on both sides. And just looking at this one, I'm gonna guess it's the same. So anyway, we'll go back and forth and back and forth, get it watered, rolled, and then eventually I'll just go from one end to the other and tight blade it. Now the other thing you notice is when I pitch my blade back and forth, so when you're doing fine cuts and finishing, you can roll the blade all the way forward, but when you're pushing a lot of material, or if you come to a spot where you got to cut 1/10 of this compacted material out, you've got to roll the blade back, or what it's going to do is it's going to start diving, ducking and diving, because when you roll the blade all the way forward, you can't dig, you can't cut hard. It just dives and then comes up, and dives and comes up. Okay, let's go find some buried feathers. Okay, so turn around, bring this window across the center and back and forth till I can either waste it, get all the low spots full, then I can just roll it off the side. Okay, it's the end of Saturday. Jake's probably got 1 or 2 passes left on this stretch here, and then he's out of here. Anyway, we've got her all bladed up and looking good and rolled, so Monday we got to come back. I think I got a couple spots in here where it kind of dips, and I got a low spot. The grader doesn't want to cut it, so we'll gotta make sure that we've got, you know, we don't have places where you're going along and then all of a sudden the shoulder drops like that, because that's gonna take a lot of concrete to build that. I'd be in trouble. Let's just put it that way. I'd be in big trouble. So I think I'm gonna go home and kick my feet up. Maybe watch a Frank Cunningham video. I see he's got a new one out. I haven't seen it yet. I love to watch Frank's videos because I love to watch him work. He's a pretty damn good hoe man. Okay, so we got it bladed and rolled. We're out here checking. We got one here that's a little low. Matt's gonna see how bad it is. I really don't want to put more gravel on here and grade that and roll it. But if we have to, we have to. So the engineering firm will be here today to take a compaction test, and then the Patco, the curb guys will be here to shoot all the hubs and create a virtual string line. And then we got to go to town when they're done and get it up and ready for pavement. And then when that's done, pull all the ditches up behind the curb and clean up, and we'll be out of here, I hope, soon.
Straight cruising, headed for a bruising, watching out for number one. You gotta slow down and look around you, son. Today is just a day and not tomorrow. Where you're going, you can rest your head. Where you're going, brightness looks big. Where you're going, truth cannot be hid. You gotta get going. Easy now, you gotta get going. Easy now. Hard working so you can be deserving of the rest that you are given. You gotta slow down and look around you, son. Give a lot and live a little. Work with what you got. Where you're going, you can rest your head. Where you're going, brightness looks big. Where you're going, truth cannot be hid. You gotta get going. Easy now, you gotta get going. Easy now. Get along, give a hand, sleep heavy, be the man. Just say
Okay, I'm blading the outside, cleaning it up. So the engineering company put property pins in. Here's one right here. I don't know how I'm going to get in that, squeeze in there to pull that ditch up and put material behind the curb. Right that's a property pin right there. Okay, I got to move mat 613 so I can finish this. Let's see if she'll fire up. Oh yeah, runs like a watch. 3208, best engine cat ever built. Who's with me? Oh yeah. See, here's another property pin. So I don't know, I can probably do it. It's gonna be tight, but I just need to take all this pit run and stuff and get it up there on the back side of the curb when they're done. Worry about it when it comes to it, I guess. So the materials testing guy was here and he said, I was told to check this every 150 feet. So I said, good luck, have fun. And he checked it, I don't know, I think he said 20 places. And they were all 98 and 99%. He said, so I just said, screw it. And he laughed. He said, you guys must have really packed it good. And I said, we did. We used copious amounts of water and we went over it and over it and over it with that little roller. So anyway, that's done. So they were supposed to come out today and shoot all the curb hubs to build a virtual string line, but I haven't seen anything out here, any tracks, anything. So I don't know if they did it. I came out and hauled a couple loads of water and watered all that stuff that I graded around the outer edges because the winds picked up and it was just blowing dust like crazy, and I know these people here don't like that, so I came out and did my civic duty and took care of that. So the DePatco boys are here, GPS and all these hubs, and I was just visiting with them. So anyway, I always like to get in my truck and just drive what I've graded to see how it rides, and this rides really well. That tells me how good a job I've done with my grading. You know, if you get drops like this all the time, one of the things, the mistakes that grader operators will make when they're finished blading is whichever side the heel of their blade is, and the heel would be the side the material's coming out. When it runs, no more materials coming out, they tend to constantly lower the heel of the blade, or when they're coming up on a redhead, a feather, they'll start gently raising, nudging up, and then once they get on the other side, they'll start lowering it back down, which gives you this. You go along and the edge of the road does that. So if you've ever driven down a road and you notice that every 100 feet or so that the shoulder side drops a little bit, it's because blade man was doing that. Anyway, it's kind of interesting. I was talking to him about their GPS, and even they hate the GPS. They've been here all day trying to do this, and they've just been having problems. They're going to start at 5 in the morning tomorrow morning. So those guys said they'd be here at 5 o'clock this morning. It's about a little after 7, and they ain't here. Anyway, I need to change my cutting edges out, so when they get done and we get ready to do the finish grade for pavement, I got new edges, so I'm gonna put those on this morning. Okay, I had 2 bolts that were damaged. Must have got hit by a rock. Had to grind on them. That one, you saw me, I ruined the brand new nut, so I had to grind on that one. The other one that I ground on went on pretty good, so there we go. Brand new 8-inch 3/4 thick curved edges, and they don't fit. Never seen that before. One's dicked up. That'll be great. That's not gonna, look at the gap in it. Boy, that's some good quality there. Doesn't match here, doesn't match there. Great. Jesus. Cat quality. You just can't buy anything anymore that's worth a hoot. I don't want to take that back off, but I feel like taking it off and taking it back to them and saying, hey, that's no good. Can't have that. So for the life of me, I can't make this thing fit. It just won't go down. And so what I've done is I've ground in here and ground, and I've practically taken the curve out of it, and it still won't lay down. My only other option is to start grinding on the back side of that edge to see if I can get it dropped down. But so I'm measuring these cutting edges. They're out a 1/16 of an inch. So if you measure from here down, it measures an 1/8 inch short of being 7 feet on both of them. And then when you measure out here down, they're only a 1/16. And you can see the gap, how it just doesn't want to straighten up. And I've pulled it out this way as far as I can, and it just doesn't want to close that gap. So Matt's gonna stop in Idaho Falls at Western. They've got 14 of these edges. My dealer in Pokey has 0. They only had these 2. And we're gonna try another edge. Now the only other thing I can think to do is, I don't really want to do it, but I probably should. I'll take that edge off there, put this one down there, and if I still have the same problem, it's a moldboard issue, and I'm gonna have to do some grinding, I guess. But I don't remember it ever looking like that when I changed cutting edges before. It's just a crooked gap here, and then this comes up, and I don't know if the radius is wrong or it's just my moldboard. And I've just ground the hell out of it, and it's like, God, I've never had to do that before. So I guess I'm gonna put that one down there, that one down there up here, and see if I have the same problem. If I do, it's a moldboard issue, I think. Okay, so I've taken the cutting edge off here, which is this one. I've placed it on here. One of the things I noticed when I did this is when I first put this edge down there, I set it up on and it stayed there with no bolts in it. When I put this one on, that one there, down here, I walked away, it fell off. And it won't stay there without the bolts in it. So I took that edge, put it down here, it lays down, fits perfectly. Put the one from down here, and all it did was reverse the problem. So this cutting edge has not been rolled correctly. They're supposed to measure 84 inches, 7 feet, but they measure, if you go along the bolt from here down the bolt hole row, they measure a 16th under 84. If you go on the edge end on each one, they measure an 1/8 of an inch under 84. So they're just manufactured wrong. I mean, the way I had it on before, I had like a 1/4 inch gap in here, and you can't have that. It's closed it up by turning them end for end, but it's also reversed the problem, put it on the other side. So it's that edge. Okay, Matt just brought me a new edge, this one down here, and the gap is much better, but you can see that this one's longer, and no amount of pushing them around is going to cure that. It'll move a little here. I don't know, really disappointed in cat cutting edges. I've never had to go through this before. So I think I'm going to swear off of cat cutting edges now.
I've been down so long that my mind can't get no rest. No, no. I've been down so long that my mind can't get no rest. No, no. This ain't easy, darling.
'Kay, there we go. Still not 100%. Still, this one's still sticking up, but I don't know what you do about it. So my bearing's still in there. I've rolled this up like twice now. Oh. What do you think? That'll work. It's just sad when you have to go through all this effort just to make cutting edges work. Oh, and they're no longer $100 a piece, they're $200 a piece. So there goes the curb machine. Guess they're not gonna do it. I don't get it. So they said they'd be here at 5 o'clock in the morning to pour mud. I showed up about 7 and there's nobody here. And now they're hauling off the curb machine. Huh. I'm not staying here any longer. I think I'll go do something else. Haul my equipment off. Alright, I got my cutting edges on. I've been here since 7. It's now noon. It's the longest set of cutting edges ever to put on. So I was going to show you in the video of them laying the curb, but since they've left, I can't do that. So I'll just cut the video loose anyway. I'll have to show you that later. So thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one, which will be a D9 video. Been working on that since I haven't been able to do anything here.